Is it already? Okay. Good morning, gang. How's everybody? So excited about the forms. Yay, yay.
Jeff yesterday.
Yeah.
Jeff, he was fired up about the forms.
In a really good way, I'm sure. Yeah. We'll talk more about them at the end. But if you haven't already, register for one of the classes. I went yesterday. A little bit of a shit show in the beginning. I'll be honest with you. But as it went along, it moved well. And I'm on the committee that was there, and we all spoke last night. So they're going to make some changes for Monday. I think it's Monday, Tuesday, and Friday of next week, right? So it'll be a little bit more organized, because yesterday was a little, yeah, it was a little unorganized yesterday. Questions about the RPA and the listing agreements on the screen, and it was a little bit of a chaotic mess. But towards the end, it turned out pretty well. But we have Mohammed here. We're going to have Mohammed come up in a second. But another realtor sent me this the other day, and you guys may have seen this. I don't know, I just get a kick out of this stuff. He goes, so when I saw this is what I thought about the new forms. And you guys may have all seen this little kid that says one of my favorite words. Not the F word.
It's just a stereotype.
I'm not sure.
Oh man, I appreciate this. You can give it to the kid back there, man. I don't eat donuts.
A bullshit?
You know, that's just a stereotype. Not all cops like donuts.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Listen to me, kid. I promise you there's a water weight. I work out every day.
Bullshit?
Oh man, I appreciate it.
So I think that's the consensus about these forms. That we're not really thrilled about these forms, but there's not going to be a whole lot we can do about it. This, real quick, some stuff. This is in the RJ yesterday or today. An article about our hot prices. Again, if you guys aren't going to lvrj.com and sending this to your clients, or doing a little video on it, or do a little TikTok gizmo thing, you know what I'm talking about, where your head is down below and you're pointing at the article for 30 seconds. That's what you need to do, guys. That's the stuff that people watch, okay? I think the days, I used to take these articles and just put them in a link and email it out to my database. I don't know how many would click on it, probably not many, okay? But if it's a little video or a little whatever it is with you on it, it's more apt for them to kind of play with it. So that was in the RJ today. Also, next week, if anyone's interested, Mike Ferry is doing his Superstar Retreat at the Venetian. We got 4 free tickets. But it's 4 days. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, Monday is an optional day, okay? What do I want to say in a nice way? So we have tickets, okay? If you want them, let me know. But we might be able to do it where I go Monday and register. And let's say I don't go the next 4 days. And I give Rob the ticket on Tuesday and Wednesday, and he takes it off his neck and gives it to Chris on Thursday and Friday. Like that, huh? Okay? Mike Ferry kicks you out, blame Damon. Okay? It was Damon's idea. Damon came up with the idea. But no, actually I spoke to them about it, and I think we can pull that off. So if you're interested, just shoot me or Wendy an email, or let us know at the end, or a little sign-up sheet. But if you're going to take the ticket, go. Don't say, oh yeah, Tim, I'd love to go. And then we follow up and, oh no, I didn't get to go. It was too hot. Or I couldn't find parking. Or whatever it might be. It's at the Venetian, okay? And I've gone to only one of these because I'm more of a Tom Ferry fan. But there's usually 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 agents that go to these things. I mean, have any of you guys, Fred or Damon or Turkhorn, have you guys gone to Mike? Right, over the years? Right, okay. Yeah, it might be a little hot, right? What do we? Yeah, let's get it. Oh, did you? Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's the Mike Ferry thing, just so everyone knows that. All right, gang, so let's see what we got here to talk about today, okay? Before we get into the forms, and Nora, that's Mohammed. We'll meet Mohammed in a second. If you know who Mohammed is, he's been with CUTCO a long time. A lot of us have his products. I got some at home from years ago. Okay, so really, really good stuff. Some good news. A lot of people say, Tim, who's this Todd Hernandez guy? Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. And he won an award. Todd is a longtime loan officer. His wife used to work here for many years, Michelle. And as a matter of fact, he's sitting right there. There he is, Todd Hernandez, best new agent for June. Wait, give him a little round of applause, guys. Come on, there you go. A little something here, And is Perez here? Where's Perez? He's not here, okay? I think he's done 5 deals in 5 months. Right? Something like that? Right? Unbelievable. Brand new agent, 5 deals in 5 months. So it works, gang, okay? The $1 Million Club for June. If you see some familiar faces on there, that's a good thing. 2 people I want to pick out of, give them special kudos. Ro Palazzo did over $6 million last month. $6 million. Way to go, Ro. And Roy had his best year in the business, 3.5 million, I think. So it's working, guys. Okay, if you work it, it works. Okay, these are the top teams. Of course, TCG right at the top of the list. Okay, how many deals you guys do last month? 300, 400? No, I'm kidding. 25, 30, right? Yeah. Okay. So again, a lot of you guys, especially even if you're not a mentee, we always talk to you guys about maybe considering a team. When I was yesterday at the LVR thing, the topic of team came up from the people on the panel, the other brokers that were there with me, saying that these forms we're introducing to you guys are a little complicated. There's nothing wrong, or there's no shame joining a team. There really isn't, okay? So if you're going to join a team, you got to go talk to Damon, okay? You really should, okay? We have several teams throughout the organization, but he's our guy here in Summerlin. So there's nothing wrong, even if you've been doing it for 10 years, 15 years. Go talk to him. You'd be surprised what stuff he has that is going to help you in your business, okay? That's the top 20 agents so far for the year, okay? So some familiar names. Again, they're working their butts off. Congratulations to all of those. I didn't know about this, but I guess we're having a sale at Realty One Group. So if you want a T-shirt, it's 25 to 40% off at the one shop. So I think the shirts are like $25, I think. Did you? I mean, I've gone there sometimes and got them for like $11. Some older ones, okay? And there's no free 99. Remember Anthony or free 99? There's no more free 99. But you might want to pick up a T-shirt. All right, gang. A little quickly about the forums before we get Muhammad. You all know about this. These are the upcoming classes. I went yesterday for 3 hours. Monday, it's all day. Okay? I think what they're doing is, if you noticed, it's very contradictory. It says register and then drop in. So do you register or do you drop in? You can do both, is the point. Okay? But if you're going to go and spend a couple hours, I would get there early, because there was 200 people in the room and there was probably another 30 or 40 in the hallway at LVR that couldn't get a seat. Okay, so agents are showing up to this thing. So get there a couple minutes early, grab a seat. There's a lot of food that LVR is providing us with, and spend a couple hours, okay? Or just show up at 2:30 on Monday, okay? And I don't know what the topic will be at 2:30, but moving forward, when you go there, there's going to be a little bit of an agenda. So when you get there, you'll pick up an agenda so you can kind of follow along what they're going to be talking about, and bring copies of the paperwork. They're not going to give you copies of it. A lot of agents were disappointed yesterday, thinking LVR would print up, 45 pages times 400 agents, and they didn't. That's, it's insanity. So bring the stuff with you so you can take notes, because they're not going to give that to you. Okay. All right. Briefly, this is page 2 of the BBRA. Just to tease you, that's page 2 of the listing agreement, and this is page 2 of the revised RPA. We're going to talk about these shortly, but those 3 areas that I have highlighted are what we're going to talk about. There's other stuff in there that's important, okay? But those 3 areas are the ones that are going to be on top of mind. Some other stuff, if you're not using this, you should be. That's our market share stats. Use it, get it out to your clients. I do a video on this on TikTok or YouTube, right? We'll just brag about Realty One Group. Don't forget the YouTube channel. Everything we do, Alex, by midday has this on the YouTube channel, okay? So you can always access it there, okay? Don't forget the websites from NAR, upcoming trainings. Again, Monday and Thursday we have Justin. Do you want to maybe the situation at ROC? And okay, we're just talking amongst ourselves here. Okay, don't forget these classes that are always at Realty One Group. At Rock Title. Jeff was in here yesterday, and he's doing another class. I think this is today. Right? No, it's not today. It's next week at 11. Okay, that's live also, right? That's his last live class, I think, the 17th. Okay. He was here yesterday. We had a pretty full room. So he seems to be teaching things that you guys want to learn. He seems like a pretty good guy, okay?
Take that, didn't you? Did you
Yeah, yep. Whatever goes on in this room within reason, we record. Just saying. Everything is on the YouTube channel, okay? This is what I meant. Today, he's doing a class at 1 o'clock on Zoom. Okay, I think this is sort of like a buyer-broker agreement type class on showing your value before presenting the BBRA to your buyer. I think this is the class he did live 3 weeks ago, and he's doing it again. Alex is saying yes. He's doing it again on Zoom for Arizona and all the other offices. So you might want to jump on that again. Next Wednesday, if you're in Green Valley, I'm going to go. I like this guy. I thought he'd be mayor one day, but now he's the lieutenant governor. I met him when I was on the board at LVR. Nice guy, retired detective from New York. He's the lieutenant governor, but a smart guy. Okay, I think he was a realtor back in New York. So real down-to-earth guy. If you want to go to Green Valley for a couple hours, have some food, mingle with Jim and John, and meet our lieutenant governor next Wednesday, it's probably not a bad idea, okay? Because I'm going to go down there because I like the guy. I'd vote for him if he ran for mayor or governor. Really good guy. Next Thursday, our meeting here is the broker panel. So come on down. Throw some tomatoes at Mark. Not Jim, not me, not Jeff, at Mark, okay? All right. That'll be next week, next Thursday. I don't know who's going to the baseball game. Anyone sign up yet? Come on, anyone go to a baseball game? $50, you get a nice ticket, all the food you can eat. We have a little private area. What the hell? It's a Saturday night, right? Who has anything better to do on a Saturday night, okay? I promise it'll be only like 105 when we go, but it's always fun. Has anyone not been to Las Vegas ballpark yet? Everyone's been there, right? You've never been there. Are you serious? They have a swimming pool. They have a swimming pool. Who knew? You can't go in it, but they have a swimming pool, okay? What else we got? Rev Up, that's the Rev Up schedule. We all know that's the July calendar that we all know. Wendy is doing her mastermind group the first Tuesday of every month. And so, does anyone know what CUTCO is? Right? Does everyone know what CUTCO is? Okay. Mohammed did a great job setting all his stuff up out in the front, so take a peek at it. But ladies and gentlemen, Mohammed, come on down, Mohammed. Say hello to everybody. There he is.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I love being here. It's one of my favorite offices. You guys notice me the best of your life, you know, the knife guy coming to speak first, right?
The nice guy.
Those of you guys that haven't met me yet, I'm pulling the sharpest guy in town. And basically, I'm with the largest closing gift company in North America, which is CUTCO Closing Gifts. So, what I want to do is I want to talk really quick about helping you guys, making sure you guys stay top of mind with your clients, so they remember you. And that you guys stay top of mind with every single one of your clients. Because if your clients can't remember you, they can't use you again to refer you guys. And as you guys know, repeat clients or referrals is the key to any business, right? And so, NAR, they do a survey every single year, and here's an interesting stat that's been pretty consistent the last 20 years. But they say that 87% of the population loves their realtor and would love to use you guys again. But do you guys actually know what the real number is? 0. Higher than 0. 12%. 12% of past clients use their realtor a second time. Now that sounds crazy, but we all have the experience of calling a past client, driving by their house, seeing another realtor sat in the yard. You know, why does that happen? Really 2 reasons. One, they can't remember the realtor's name, or it's just not easy to find. And honestly, I wish I had a better answer. Just people are forgetful. And so as a company, we found a way to solve both of things with one thing, the type of closing gift you're going to give it. And so when you guys think about closing gifts, what are the most common gifts you guys get out?
Champagne.
Closing gifts like champagne, alcohol.
Pizza.
Free transaction. Crate and barrel.
Yeah, and you're giving out like a gift card or like a plant or a puppy, right?
Cutting boards.
I'm not here, by the way, to say your clients don't like what you give them. Everyone loves a free gift, right? Because it's free. When you guys think about those gifts, where are they 36 or 48 months later? Yeah, some said they're gone. They eat them, they drink them, they spend them, the plants die. You know, generally the gifts really aren't that useful. All it's just a nice gesture, right? So when you guys think about when you're trying to build a long-term relationship with your clients, it really makes sense to give them a gift that's only lasts maybe a few months, or maybe like a year or two. Probably not, right? So raise your hands if you guys ever heard of CUTCO, have some at home, or ever given out as gifts. Oh, look at all the sexy intelligent people. So keep your hands raised if you guys have CUTCO for at least 5 years. 10 years? 15? 20? 25? 20? That's awesome. So
They're the only ones that are not broken.
I love that. So I want you guys to conceptualize that a little bit. Giving you guys a gift to your clients you're going to use 10, 20, 30 years from now. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with CUTCO, it's like the Snap-on tools with Tiffany's and knives. They're all American made since the 1940s. They're all guaranteed forever. What we do is we take the CUTCO product line and we brand it with your logo, your name, your info, whatever you want on the product like this. Does a couple things for your guys' business. According to NAR, what's the most common room used in the home?
The kitchen.
The kitchen. Number one tool used in the kitchen is a knife. This is how it's being used with the friends and family hanging out. They say, hey, where'd you get the red nail knives? Where'd you get the ivory nail knives? And they're like, oh yeah, our realtor helped us buy this house. And they gave us an awesome knife. And they're like, oh cool, that's awesome. And then 6 months later, who's that guy or gal we're talking about? We're actually in the market, we're thinking about listing our home. Now you guys get a referral because the conversation was sparked. You guys can't hang out with all your clients at all their parties and get-togethers and summer gatherings. What do you guys think can? Nice, CUTCO. The other thing I want to talk about really quick is the IRS guideline around gifting. You guys know what the legal limit is you're allowed to write off? 25 bucks. A lot of agents spend a lot more typically, cost of fingers if they don't audit it, or they just don't take the full tax deduction they deserve. Because it gets a brand with your info on there, so they're advertising and marketing, and you can actually wrap the full amount.
So Mohammed, I buy $500 worth of knives. I can write off 500 bucks.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like your for sale signs, your business cards, all the other marketing, everything else you guys are doing. You know, our goal is to add a new expense to your guys' business, but take the money you guys are already spending and actually get to take the full tax deduction you guys deserve. The last thing we'll talk about really quick is having good systems in place. Because when you guys think about closing gifts, when do they typically get purchased? The day before.
Day of, you know.
You're driving to the title, and you're like, oh man, I forgot to closing gift this stuff at the grocery store. What do they like? Do they like wine? Do they not like wine? Or like lactose intolerant? Do they like chocolate? Who knows, right? Next thing you find yourself standing in line at the grocery store with a gift basket and a gift card because you're running out of time. And so we've done a lot of research, and we surveyed a lot of all your clients basically. We found out all of them typically eat, they all have kitchens, and they all typically use knives. So the gifts work out pretty well for them. So what we do is to get you guys the small supply gifts I have on hand, ready to go. As soon as you have closing, 1 year, 2 year, or full partner, anytime you need a gifting opportunity, just grab the gift set, hand it to your client, and you're done. You don't have to think about it. So if you guys do 12 deals a year, we can get you 12 gifts. We can build over 12 months to make it really easy on your cash flow. And then you get a big discount on top of that. If you guys do 24 deals, you get 24 gifts. You guys can build over anywhere from 2 to 12 months. Same thing. If you guys are doing a lot more than that, you know, we can get you bigger discounts from there as well. Our price is anywhere between $50 to $300, which most agents spend anyways. We do luxury gifts. You guys want to do like a luxury home over in Lake Las Vegas or anywhere you guys want. You can kind of cater it however you guys want to your guys' business. So the last thing I want to do is I like to do a drawing. I like to give out free stuff. Does anyone here like free stuff? Cool. Okay. So if you guys want to go ahead and grab out your cell phones, I'm going to do is give you my number. And we'll get in the drawing. There's 2 things you got to do. So to get in the drawing, all you have to do is text your name. That's it. And I'll give you guys my number in a second. If you guys want more information on our gifts, if you guys have a closing or anyone you guys in your business want to appreciate, you can text me the word sharp, and then I'll make sure to get you guys some more info as well. And so my phone number is 847-769-1908. 769-1908. So my phone number is 847-769-1908. Just text your name in the drawing. We'll do it at the end of the meeting today. And if you guys want more information, just text the word sharp. Lastly, I like to reward people, like take action now on things they know they're going to do for the business anyways. You guys are going to sell a lot of houses this summer, right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, cool. A couple of people are selling houses this summer. So if you guys are going to sell a lot of houses this summer, I want to get you guys set up for your gifts. So for the first 3 people, I want to place an order while they're here at the office. Before I leave, I'm going to buy you guys $200 of CUTCO on top of our normal discounts. So that's just my gift to you guys. You guys are one of my favorite offices. So that's it.
Questions for Mohammed about the product or anything? Steph.
Yeah, I'm German and I'm in a global team, so some cultures it is bad luck when you give a knife to somebody as a present, but you can get around that, you put a penny in the present,
Yeah, we have a
so that
little
they
card.
give you the penny back, and then they purchase it for a penny, and then the good luck is in there.
Yeah, we have a little tool, a good luck card you can put in the boxes for you, for anyone like that.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of
You
non-sharp
just have to
objects,
know
too.
that when you deal with different countries, like with Germany or
Steph, do you have that cheat sheet of nationalities that that could help? Do you have a cheat sheet or something here?
find that out.
Wow. Learn something new every day. Thanks, Mohammed. Hey. All right, gang. We know her. We love her. She brought bagels up the yin yang here, and I don't know what all this is. What do you got? What do you got? What is all of this? What are you doing here?
So
What
we're
is-
gonna play a little game because I
Jesus.
want to make sure that you know about American Home Shield and the difference. So I'm gonna ask you a question. If you get the answer right, you can have anything up here. Yeah, you can use the fan. We're like bidding. Okay, so what on Shield Complete? How many
Ay, ay, ay.
defects does it cover?
3.
4.
All?
Yes, Shield Complete covers all of the HVAC systems. So if you have a 4,800 square foot home and there's 5 units, They're all covered under $815.
Wow, who knew? Who knew?
I know.
Son of a gun, who knew?
Okay, second question.
Yeah.
What is the coverage limit for HVAC per unit? So if we, so
Okay, I like that. That's a guess, 1,000.
one-year contract, how much will American Home Shield pay out to either replace or repair your system?
Unlimited.
$20,000. 15, I'm sorry. 15,000.
I got 15 over here.
15,000.
Woo, Sylv, wow,
15,000,
15.
If you, I know that there's a new home
Can I trade
warranty.
you for a cup?
Yeah, you can. No, there's a new.
Picky,
There's a
picky.
new warranty in town, okay, in the office. So I get it. You clients should be shopping around for home warranty. And they should have options. And you, as the realtor, should just be like, here, call the rep. They'll go over the coverage with you. Because it takes it off of you and it's their decision. I want you to send me your clients. I would prefer to speak with them directly and go over the coverage and the limits and what's the right plan for them. Again, it takes it off of you. So I always say, we're in Las Vegas. The main question your homeowner should be looking at when they're asking when they're looking for home warranty is what? What is the coverage for AC? How many times have you shopped around with a buyer and they said, I don't know, the AC system looks really old in this house, I'm not sure. Right? Has that ever happened?
Doesn't matter how old it is, still breaks down.
That's true. So again, coverage limit is super important. How many ACs does it cover? Another question. What is our coverage limit on Shield Complete for appliances?
Is Laura the only person here from Rob Title?
So,
Did you notice?
thank you. Okay, so in a one-year contract, how much will we pay out on Shield Complete for per appliance, per appliance?
4,000. 5,000.
You paid 4,200 to me, so 5,000.
10,000.
Refrigerator.
Who said seven? 7,000.
Lucas, woo, look at you, Sylv.
You guys.
Wow.
$7,000 per appliance. We are selling more luxury homes more than ever here in Vegas. And if you have a client that has a Wolf or a Viking and it breaks, they do not want a Samsung. And so it's really important to know, again, who's your buyer, what kind of house is it, what's the coverage? Which plan gives you one free HVAC tune-up?
All the plans do.
No, which plan, Shield Complete, Shield Essential, Shield Plus, gives you one free HVAC tune-up?
Plus.
Who said complete? I did. Two complete. Shield Complete. You get one free HVAC tune-up with Shield Complete. So, we all know, you've heard me say, if you closed in January, February, March, right? The AC was not turned on by the inspector. And they wouldn't know if their AC is gonna work until probably early June, and by then it's too late, right? So it's really important that HVAC tune-up. If I want to bring this up because if you do an HVAC tune-up and the technician tells you it's a little low on Freon, do you just say okay, thank you, or do you go and add Freon into it?
That's why.
And the AC is working, it's blowing all cool, but it's low on Freon. What do you do?
Ignore it.
Add, yeah, don't ignore it. That's like, if you get an HVAC, can I bring this up because it just happened? Client got a tune-up in April. They said, hey, you're a little low on Freon. Do you want us to refill it? He's like, no, it's cooling just fine. Guess what? It broke because there was no Freon. Let's see.
I have a question.
Yes.
I just had my service last week,
Uh-huh.
and I have 3 units,
Uh-huh.
and he said that it's only 1 minute, and I have the Shield Plus.
So Shield Complete we would give you one free unit to tune up. So you'd have to pay for the other 2 units. It's like $100 to tune them up. Yeah, but we give you one free. So, do you guys, what is a 30-day recall?
Oh, she was a mentee, but she's
That's
part-time.
right.
Her husband's a doctor,
If you have a
all that
service-
stuff. But very nice, very nice.
If you have a service
Yeah.
claim and we send somebody out and they fix it, and within that 30 days it breaks again, we just send somebody out, there's no extra charge.
Well, they charged me $100.
we'll talk about that after. Does anyone know has anyone worked with me and know how generous I am?
Yes. I have to talk to you.
Yeah, talk to me. You guys, I am your resource. I want to take it off your plate, whether it's for you, your client, I'm here to take it off of your plate. So, I have one more question. What is cash in lieu of repair?
Then you're gonna cash like, they
They can review an option.
Say it again?
You're just gonna give you cash.
Yes. So you have the option with American Home Shield. If we sent our tech out there, he did a diagnosis, and they're like, yeah, I probably can get that done a little bit cheaper, or I have somebody that can do it, or I don't, I just want to take care of it. We will give you cash in lieu of the repair.
Now, they make me take a card with Lowe's.
How long ago is that? Okay, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Now we give you cash, and we can, it actually, once you accept it online, it gets digitally transferred to you. So you're not waiting for a check. Yes?
So if you take cash in lieu, then HS is not gonna warrant the work that you chose to do by an outside
No,
person.
that's not true.
No?
We will, as long as you have, if you're using somebody that's licensed or, insured, all that, and you keep your paperwork, yeah, we will. Because think about it, how many times have you bought a house that somebody else fixed before you bought it?
Yeah, but you still take the liability.
Yeah, and we would take the liability if you repaired it.
As long as Uncle Louie didn't repair it.
Yeah, you have to have a paper
All right,
trail.
don't take the money and have Uncle Louie fix it and then 6 months put in a claim. I don't think that'll fly,
No.
Why do you offer that?
Cash in lieu?
Yeah.
Because some people just would rather, maybe, I'll give you an example. I had somebody where, we weren't gonna be able to get the tech out soon enough. They had somebody that could come sooner. The last thing, do we allow you to ever use your own vendor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought only one company allowed that.
We will allow you to use your own vendor if we cannot find a vendor, and it's happened multiple times just in this last 2 weeks. So if we don't have enough technicians in our network, we will say we will give you outside authorization. And here's what I found. It's great, because all they have to do is they find their own vendor, and we just ask that that vendor send us the diagnosis before he makes the repairs. Because we need to make sure what's covered by the home warranty, right? So yes, we can give you outside authorization. You know what I found with the clients, with the homeowners? I had 3 homeowners in the last 2 weeks that were like, I don't wanna go find my own vendor. I don't wanna go find my own vendor. And let me tell you, when it's 120 degrees outside, if you think for any moment that you're gonna get a vendor that's gonna come same day and not charge you $50, talk to some AC guys in town.
Can't even get a buyer at 120 degrees.
So anyways, I'll be here for a little bit this morning. I know you have a lot to talk about, so.
No worries.
There's one more bag.
Who wants a bag? There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nora, everybody. Yay! Hey, Linda Jo, how many names are on the sign-in sheet? Do you have the sign-in sheet by you? How many?
24.
Nora, pick a number from 1 to 24.
I was gonna say 33.
No.
Three.
3. Who is number 3? The winner is? Okay. Typical realtor scribble. Marianne, everybody. Here we go. She gets a pin. She gets a little folder. Oh, look at this. What else we get? You get a little pad, little mouse pad, and a T-shirt.
Can I have a bag too?
Oh, you want the bag too? Yeah. Jeez.
This is for our grill master, but she's not here today.
Ooh, for Suzanne?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. For next time we grill.
Every time she grills, I feel
Okay.
like she needs a new
Yes,
set.
she does. All right, Nora. Thank you, baby. Nora, everybody. Yeah. Woohoo! 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 Yeah. And Nora kind of alluded to it, just to give you guys a heads up. Corporate added a 3rd home warranty company. So we have Stacia at Old Republic, Nora, AHS, and Elisa will be with, it's called a CHOSA. Okay? We just want to give you guys as many choices as you can. So It's out there. It's out there. No, it's a funny name. Ochosa. It's a funny name.
Oh, okay.
But we just want to give you guys more choices, okay? But what she did today, which was really good, I didn't know these numbers. How much is 15,000 or 7,000? That's what the client wants to know. You know, they want to know the price, but they want to know what's covered. So sometimes the 425 plan with $1,000 max is not necessarily the best plan, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. But you'll meet Lisa at upcoming meeting. So Wendy Scheller, everybody, here she is. Wendy, baby, come on, what do we got? What do we got, Wen?
Before we get into this,
Nobody's clapping today. You know, they used to clap. They used to, you know, I know it's hot out, but, you know, give us something here, you know?
so a little update about our Rock Title marketing rep. As you know, we had Tim and Anthony that were here, then we switched over to Barbara. Tomorrow's Barbara's last day, so we will officially have Heather Mirich. Heather Mirich was a realtor here with us. She also was a lender for 25 years, so she knows the industry, guys. So she's gonna be in the office at the end of the hall. She took a position with Rock Title about 2 months ago. So she's been up in the Northwest, and now she's going to have the Northwest and Summerlin. Anthony's going to have Green Valley and Southwest, with Tim Sands is gonna cover everybody with his technology.
Very good.
So now we have access
Woohoo.
to like
Right.
everybody that we need, right? So Heather will be officially moving in here on Monday.
Exactly.
You guys can call her over, and she's left a couple of cards outside that door. So if you need farms or whatever it is, just go ahead and reach out to Heather, all right? All right, so on to, I'm trying to give you a topic of how to stay top of mind right now, because it's the summer and we know our clients are traveling and, you know, they have their kids at home and whatnot, so now's a good time to possibly reach out to them. They might be considering moving for over the summer so they can get their kids to other school districts, or, you know, just they might want to be waiting until the fall, but you want to consistently stay top of mind with them, right? So don't let it go just because it's summer. If you're gonna have a trip plan, go on a trip, but then come back and really get back to business, because what you do stacks up, and you've gotta keep people in the pipeline. So call your sphere. Just, hey, I know it's really hot out, just checking in on you, you know, happy summer, have any trips planned, whatever it is, you can touch base, but you can do any kind of email, like digital holiday cards. If you guys have BombBomb, you can do little videos. Just reach out to them, because I think that's the follow-up and the consistency is where we all tend to fail. So we're just gonna keep reminding you, follow up. But you can email them digital holiday cards, you can mail them cards, text your sphere. I like texting like videos. It just seems to have a little bit more of an open rate. You know, you can say, I'm just checking in with you, but when they see a little video moving around like BombBomb, they open the email and you're just moving, and then they click on it, and then they're able to see you. I like to hold a little whiteboard that says their name, and then I'm like, hey, Susie, just checking in on you, you know, so, and it's just kind of engaging with them, so you maybe think about doing something like that. Pop-bys, there's tons of them. It is summer, people do, bonfires or fire pits or whatever. You could do maybe like a s'mores pop-by, and just a little bag with some marshmallows, a couple pieces of chocolate, some graham crackers, and then just, but what I like to do with my pop-bys, I like to call my people. Because you're not doing it for a whole neighborhood, you're doing it for the people that you already know. So I like to call them and say, hey, I'm gonna be in the area, I have a little something I'd like to drop off, when are you gonna be home? Because if you just leave it on their doorstep, they're gonna text you, thanks. You want to be able to knock on the door, say, hey, just wanted to drop this off, I was in the area thinking about you, and then start a little bit of a conversation. They see you see them, and you again are top of mind. Put your business card in there, we make a little tag on the front that's got your information, just anything to keep, like, you think they're not keeping that stuff? Okay, so it's mixed. I'm a postcard kind of person. My husband, he's in the mail, he gets mail, he's just throwing things in my way. Did you even look at that? And he's like, no. So I've got a whole drawer that's just full of all those little postcards and stuff, because I'm a realtor on my house, everybody else doing it. So I'm keeping all that realtor stuff. But don't think your clients aren't keeping it either. I know magnets are a little old school, but some of them still keep those magnets. So anything that you give them, a pen, a magnet, chapstick, like whatever, they love that little stuff. Everybody loves to give free stuff. So think about doing things like that. Social media, quizzes are a really good idea. You know, it's summer, what's your top, out of these 3 destinations, which is your favorite? Or you can do a raffle. I know Judy, which is Judy here, Judy's not here, but she did a 4th of July raffle. And she does a Facebook Live, and she's like, it's raffle time, and then everybody knows to get on. So if once a month you do some kind of a raffle, a gift card to Starbucks or something like that, also keeps them coming back to your social media. And then you can post weekly events. Everybody wants to know what's going on around town. So, I don't know, a couple months ago, I gave you a list of all the places you can go to see all of the events that are happening throughout town. But just Google it, what's going on in Vegas or Henderson, and then you can just send out a mass email to all of your people, hey, things to check out this weekend or during this week. And then make an explainer video. I love to do this, but I'll make an explainer video about myself and Realty One Group, a company I've partnered with, who I am, why I've chosen them. If you guys are new or haven't had a chance to talk to you, I've been licensed 20 years and 15 years here at Realty One Group as a realtor, and then a little over a year now as their sales manager in the Summerlin office. So Realty One is my brand. My colors, everything is about Realty One. So when I do my explainer videos, it's not just about me. It's why I chose this company and what they have to offer myself and my clients. So use that, utilize that, how large we are. We have our own lenders, we have our own title company. We have so much to offer, not just ourselves, but other agents as well as our clients. So explain that to them. But I also organize things for charity. We also, in my neighborhood, I have a big park, so I'll do like a snow cone social. And yeah, it costs a little bit of money, but I'm standing next to that truck. I'm like, I'm the realtor that ordered this. You know, hey, if you guys need anything, I've been in this neighborhood for 15 years, blah, 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 blah. So they like to see who you are, but don't be afraid to tell them you're a realtor and that you're the one that did this or set that up. You know, there's like pictures with Santa. I'll do a picture with Santa Day for people with kids, and then I'll do a pet one. A pet one always draws more people. It's so funny, but you're the one that set that up. And if you have a picture with your animals and you're like, oh, well, I'm an animal lover, but you know, I'm a realtor, da 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 da, and I love to do this for my clients, and so I enjoy doing it for my neighborhood too. They love that stuff, guys. Sometimes it costs a little bit money. If you know me, I try to do as little expense as possible. So I'll tell you, these are the only things that I pay for here, here, and here, and unless I have to do something else. I'm not one of those that's just like, hey, I'm giving my money out because we'll all go broke. We really will. You know, that's not, we're here to make money, but you gotta pick and choose what you're gonna spend your money on. But you gotta try things also, and it might be a flop, but then you know not to do it again, but at least you've tried it to see what's gonna work for your environment and your spirit people. But, the charity, let's go back to that real quick. A food drive, a clothing drive, a toy drive. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna send it out to your people, and you're gonna tell them what 2 days you're gonna go pick it up, and just say email me, and then say I'd like to come and pick it up when you're home. When's a good time to pick it up when you're home? Don't tell them just leave it on the doorstep, because you want to get face to face with your clients. So if you guys need anything, I'm just down the hall. All right?
Wendy, everybody. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Before we get Maria, before I forget, 2 special guests are here, believe it or not. I don't know if they know they're special, but they are. They are. The one and only Laura Moran. Where's Laura? Did she run out already? She was sitting right there. She left. Well, Laura Moran from Rock Title is here, everybody, the escrow officer, okay? And we have an agent that's just joined us yesterday. He's a brand new agent, mentee. There he is. Skylar Bradley, everybody. Say hello to Skylar. Yeah. There's a rumor that his mom is an agent somewhere in town, so we got to get the scoop on that here.
She's selling a house, so somebody can give us a referral.
Atta boy, Skylar. There you go. What the hell here, you know? Maria, before I do the forms, anything you want to... No, you're okay for now?
Okay, just one thing.
All right, come on. Just one thing.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls from you guys about the new BBRA. It's not BBA anymore, it's BBRA. A wonderful 5-page, form. I put in my office on the window the schedule for LVR for the classes. They're doing 5 different classes. Please attend those. They're going to go through all 3 of the forms, but mainly go through here. And I know you and Jeff are going to do some classes and stuff on this.
But aren't we talking about reducing that, Tim?
We'll get there. Take a breath. We'll get there.
But I just want to make sure you guys just, take those classes, look at the forms. They've been emailing out the forms to you guys since July 8th. So go through the forms, take them to the LVR classes, and just make sure that you get up to date on them before we go. It'll be August, so we don't have a whole bunch of
And then lastly, if you have any rentals, please open up SkyScope files. I'm starting to get a big stack of rentals again and referrals, so any questions with it, just let me know. Your turn.
Thanks. Great. Yeah. Also, we forgot to put it in the handout. Don't forget, August 2nd is the luncheon for LVR at Durango Station. Okay? Sign up, it's $35, get to take a CE class, you get the money back. If you guys haven't gone before, you need to go to at least one. It's a nice day. August 2nd is a Friday. And I think it's the last one of the year. I don't think they're doing any more, okay? All right, gang, we got these forms here that we got to talk about. We seem to be running late on our meetings all the time, so my apologies for that. Wendy just doesn't shut up sometimes, you know? But this is not going to be, let's go through each form and train on all the changes. Quick little overview today, and what's going to happen is me and Jeff are going to be doing classes in both offices, and we're going to set up a series of Zoom calls, Zoom webinars on each one, okay? How many forms were changed? Who knows?
Four.
4, very good, very good. How many were changed in California?
All of them. 41. 47. 12.
67. How many in New Jersey? 48. Swear to God. So we're bitching and moaning, which we like to do here in Vegas, okay? But those other states, it's a nightmare. It really, really is. We just have 4, okay? So that's the listing agreement. All I want to point out on all 3 of these, and then you guys could bombard me with questions, is on page 2, all of the changes on the RPA and the listing agreement are on page 2. So this is now where you put in the commission on the listing agreement, okay? Those of you that have been around for a while, we remember the days where we put in the 6 bananas and we put 3 and 3. Then we took that away and you could just put in the 6 bananas. And up until 10 days ago, we were going to put in both. Go back to the good old days, right? Department of Justice said you can't do that. Sorry, good try. Not allowed to do that. So that box right there, and I'm not going to necessarily read it because you guys have it, but basically it says, Mr. Seller, this is what you're paying me. You're not paying anything to Ricky at Remax who brings the buyer. That's just for the listing agent, okay? And again, as we do trainings and we'll do some role plays, we'll go through some role plays on how you explain what that number should be. Should it be, what should the number be?
4.
4, I got 4. Do I hear 5? 5, 5, do I hear 5, 5, 5? Right, what's the number we all think it should be?
3.
Okay, okay. What if you put a bigger number there?
That's okay.
That's okay too, right? That's okay too, okay? But again, in the training classes, and I think I'm going to drag Caldwell into this with us, with me and Jeff, we're going to do a lot of role plays on, because some sellers are going to say, I'm not paying it. I saw this thing on the news, you know, channel on CBS that I don't have to pay the buyer commission anymore. So what are you charging me? You know, Maria, oh, I charge 2.5. So you'll put 2.5 there, okay? But that's the only substantive change on the listing agreement. Nothing else on there is pretty much the same. But that's a big thing. Obviously, it's a big one, okay? Question about that real quick? Great, we'll move on. Fantastic. All right, now if we go to the next form, which is the one and only buyer's notice of disclosure. Where's Maria when I need her, right? This is the form. The only thing they added on here, and I don't even know where it is something about the airport. So if you want to read it and say, Tim, I found it, something on there changed about the airport noise that we had to put in there, that we didn't have. Right, yeah. Right. But some agents, you know, might do it. Yeah. You got it, Wen? I got it. There we go. Okay. So that's not a big one on the list, if you get my drift, okay?
I have a question, go back to listening real quick.
Far away.
Just since nobody asked, because they should be asking and nobody is, where do I put the co-op? So I put my listing commission on the listing agreements. I went over this in our team meeting last night. Where do I put the co-op that the seller's offering to the buyer broker?
On your fast email file.
Where do you think you put it?
Purchase agreement.
That's the only box you can put anything in.
This question, where's the co-op being addressed with the seller?
So again, not to get into a training class on listing agreement, because we're going to do that, but if I talk to my Amelia, my seller, and she goes, no, Tim, I understand. I still want to offer a co-op because that's the best way to do it. Then that number will not be 2.5. It might be 5 or 6.
No, that's not
No,
correct.
that's not true.
That is not correct.
Why not?
Because they cannot put the buyer co-op in that listing.
No, but
That would just be what what specifically states on there
that it can't be shared. It cannot be shared.
The seller says, I want to pay a co-op.
Right.
It's not going on.
You're correct. My mistake. It's not going in there. Correct. Right. No. See,
You guys should be asking this question.
in the perfect world, gang, in the perfect world, the Department of Justice wants the buyer's agent, the buyer, to pay the buyer's agent. They don't want the seller to be involved in it at all. Now, will they be involved in it? I think they will.
Or they want it negotiated.
Correct.
But not to
Correct.
start off
Right.
at the start with the co-op being offered, and that's why it's going in the RPA.
A quick example, Amelia says, yeah, Tim, I'm okay with this. I think I'll offer a co-op. How much you want to offer? Well, usually it's 6 bananas. So 3 for you. I put 3 in there. And then I know that she might offer 3. And I say, you know, Amelia, what's probably going to happen, or I know what's going to happen, is as we get offers from Ricky at Remax, they'll be in the new purchase agreement, which you guys will see in a minute, where they're going to ask you to pay the buyer's co-op, or the buyer's commission, or the buyer's fee, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So that's a really important conversation you're going to have with that seller, whether they want to participate in that or not. Now, they might say, no, I'm not paying nothing, okay? So I saw the lawsuit. And then you have to have another conversation in a very professional way, the pros and cons of that, okay? If you don't, Mr. Seller, this is what might happen. If you do, this is what might happen. But ultimately, they decide. Right, Ann?
Well, I think the decision actually comes when the offer comes, because you can't put it in the listing. You can't put it.
No, I know, it's not in writing, but you want to have that conversation. I need to know. If I'm the listing agent, I need to have an idea if my seller might want to participate in that. Now, they don't have to commit to it. There's nothing they're not committing to it. But me as a listing agent, I like to have an idea. Correct.
If you've got a signed broker agreement, there's got to be a number on the
Well,
broker agreement.
this is the other side of it. Again, when we went to LVR, wait until you go to the LVR meetings. Holy shit, it's going to be woo, questions, people throwing shit. It's a nightmare. But look at it this way. If you want to be a really, I don't know what the word is, a listing agent, I'll go on every listing appointment and say, Mr. Seller, my fee is 2 bananas. That's all you're going to pay me. Don't worry about paying the buyer, because, Mr. Seller, every offer that comes over will have a buyer-broker representation agreement with it that the buyer already committed to pay to the buyer's agent. So you don't have to pay anything. Now, let me finish, Ann. Let me finish. So in reality, if I'm a listing agent, I think that will enhance my chances of leaving that house with the listing agreement. Right? Pretty much, right? Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'll sell it, but okay. But then there'll be other conversations that if you don't offer it, like Damon was kind of getting at, there's a pro and con to that also.
But there's a second part of that, which is now you guys need to be well versed in letting the seller know, listen, if you're going to pay a co-op, you're great. If you're not, great. Just know that the offers that are going to be coming over, most likely are going to have a request for a percentage of commission to pay to the buyer broker, and we're going to negotiate that. Because this is just going to inspire great negotiations. We're going to negotiate that when the offer's submitted. We're going to sit down and look at that, run the numbers, and you'll be able to make an educated decision on whether or not you want to accept, counter offer, whatever. That's how it's going to go.
I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but a year from now, at our next meeting in July of 2025, if somehow we can track all of the new listings from August 18th to August 18th of 2025, my guess is 4 out of 5 closings will have offered a co-op, like the old days. It's not in MLS, though. You don't know it's there. You have to find out. But I don't think the majority of the sellers are going to not pay a co-op because they understand the good and bad about that. Yeah.
What's going to happen with our existing listings, with the old listing agreement, that we have these sellers that have already committed to giving out 3%? What is going to happen?
They signed a contract.
Okay.
You know?
So that holds.
Yeah, that, of course, sure.
And
Right.
then when that, like, let's say that listing expires September 1st, can we do an MLS change order and extend it? Or do we have to now send them over a brand new listing agreement on the new form and start over?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
They're still working that out. And just so you know, guys, the forms that we gave you, it says draft on it. And when you get down to LVR, if you don't bring these, they might give you a copy. These are going to change. Not so much the listing agreement or the RPA, but the 5-pager, I swear on my mother, we got to get it down to 3 or 4 pages. I'm doing everything I can to get that baby down to 3 or 4. And I think that's going to work, I hope. Or at least make it a little bit not baby font that you can't read. Yeah, but my thought on all this, and I could be wrong, is that the listing agreement is what? 11 pages, right? The RPA is 9, or I maybe have it reversed. How many of you, when you send that over to your buyer to sign through Authentisign, have spent 30 or 40 minutes or 60 minutes going through the whole form? Honestly. Yeah, some of us, not many. I'm not saying that, but you should. We all know we should. But we get programmed to hit a button and send it over and they sign the damn thing, okay? I think that's what will happen with the 5-page BBRA. In 6 months from now, it'll be just another form that we know how to explain in 60 seconds or less to the buyer. Okay, I mean, when I was a practicing agent, and I'm sitting with my client, let's say it was a live signing, I could go through that RPA in 2 minutes. You know, just highlight the important stuff: due diligence, appraisal, contingency, all the other stuff. Not that I didn't talk about it, I would. Okay, but I didn't spend 20 minutes on all the abbreviations in that column. You know, the paragraph has all the abbreviations. No, I didn't. You know, I talked about it, but it took me 3 seconds to talk about it. I think you'll get your own way of explaining the BBRA the same as you do the other documents, because none of us, and maybe we should go back to old school, spend 30 minutes going through the entire document, okay? And you should, and me and David talked about this morning, when we got into all this automation, because clients don't come in, you know, and you're sending, especially buyers, you're sending it to them to sign. Hopefully, what I used to do, I would send a blank one to them. Well, maybe not a blank one, it was filled out, but it was not through Authentisign. It was just a PDF. Hey, Chris, I'm sending you the RPA based on what we talked about. Okay, take a look at it. If you have any questions, call me. And you call me, we talk about 2 or 3 things, and then I send it to him through Authentisign and he signs it. Okay, that's the extent of me explaining it to him on the phone. Would I rather he come in? Of course, but it doesn't work that way sometimes, okay?
Tim, real quick on that.
Please.
Question with because the MLS is going to remove the co-op.
Yeah.
So the listing agreements that are in place that have a co-op possibly included in that commission, you know, is there a vehicle, because it's not gonna be on the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to be reaching out to the listing agent and saying, hey, are you offering a co-op? I'll put it in an RPA, right? Or is it going to be something that has now changed and the seller's not obligated to it any longer?
I think it's still going to be reaching out to the listing agent at this point. I don't know if there's going to be any form triggered to you know, reinstitute it or where you're going with it. I know what you're saying. It's still going to be getting them on the phone somehow, or emailing them, or texting them, or their office. But even in the meeting, when you go to LVR, there was conversations with that. So I called Jillian Batchelor, and she says, yeah, Tim, it's 3%. So I sent over my RPA, and then they counter at 2. But you told me it was 3, Jillian. Well, that was before my seller saw the offer. Okay, see what I'm getting at? So even though the agent might tell you what it is, it's a negotiating point, okay? Because the other parts of your offer might affect the commission that you're asking for also, as far as the net is concerned to the seller, okay? So a lot of moving parts. This is the area on the BBRA, okay? A lot of agents said, Tim, what's the retainer fee and the hourly rate crap that's on there? Crap, it is crap, okay? If you work here, you can't use either of those 2. We don't allow you to at Realty One Group. But there are other brokerage firms that will allow their agents to do that. That's suicide.
What are you talking about?
Right here, where it says retainer fee and hourly rate. Okay? We don't allow you to do that here, obviously. But there are brokerages that are cool with that. I don't think that's a good idea. You know?
Sales agents. For a purchaser, they're allowing their agents to take a retainer fee.
Correct, right, yeah.
We need to really vet that with the real estate divisions to see if we just need a fair playing field at Realty One Group, okay? So
Right.
we need to go above and beyond and say, is this now allowed, Jan Hawley down to the real estate division or whatever, so we know if our agents are able to do it or not.
Yeah, the last conversations with Jan was, hey Jan, it's Tim. My Chris Anabali is one of our best rental agents. He's collecting, you know, a retainer fee up front for a couple $100. Are you good with that? Are you a property manager, Tim? We are not. Well, then we're not really good with that, you know, because we have nowhere to put the money. You know, we can't deposit it. We don't have a transaction to connect it to. But Damon's right. I think this is gonna change. But again, here you can't do it. At ABC Brokerage, if they want to collect money up front, it could be a lawsuit potentially waiting to happen, we think. Janet?
I'm sorry, I missed part of this, sorry, I haven't had a phone call, but is every brokerage in town obligated to use this 5-page? Absolutely not.
What do you guys think?
Nope.
So it's
Okay.
not.
No.
So other brokerages can have their own forms, and that's okay, but,
I'll-
Settlement,
all right.
as long as it meets the terms of the settlement.
If you read the settlement says the brokerage firm or the agent has to have a written agreement before showing the house. Doesn't say buyer broker agreement, doesn't say a BBRA, it just says a written agreement. So it could be on a napkin, hypothetically, I guess. But I'll tell you something, 2 days ago when I got the email, I called 9 brokers that I know really well. And they actually answered the phone. Because I think we're all curious what everyone's doing, right? We're all nosy. What are you doing? What are you doing? And they didn't tell me everything they're doing, just like I didn't tell them what we're doing. Because everyone wants to know what we're doing, to be honest with you, because we're the biggest one in town. Everyone wants to know what Realty One Group is doing, okay? But of the 7 or 8, 3 of them are using the LVR form. 3 of them are creating their own. And 2 have no idea what they're doing yet. They said, Tim, I don't know. I mean, we got a month. We're trying to figure this stuff out. We're talking to attorneys. We're talking to this one. So Janet's right, and Damon's right. This is just an outline for the members to use. They don't have to use it.
Is there any chance that Realty One Group will create their own?
What do you think? Is that a good idea? Can we pause that for a minute, you know?
This is a cluster.
I think, oh, fuck me, you know. We'll see. It depends. Where's Dave Sanders? If you don't know who Dave Sanders was. It depends.
I called our president, myself personally, yesterday to have that conversation, Pat Kelly. To say, we want to make sure, again, for me, it's about having a level playing field.
Yes.
Okay, we don't want to start losing business. That's exactly how I presented to them. Hey, listen, if a buyer's looking at 2 agents and one has a 1-pager, that looks a lot easier to sign than a 5-pager, that possibly is something sways in that direction.
Absolutely.
So I told him, I said, hey man, we need all hands on deck. I said, I'm talking to Tim as well. I mean, he said, send over my suggestions or whatever. I know Tim and the team are working on it or whatever, but you guys just have to have a voice, as Realty One Group always says. You have a voice, email Tim, let him forward it over, whatever, so you guys can express your concerns, because again, we just want to make sure we have a level playing field here.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, Janet, if it was my decision, we get rid of this piece of crap 5-pager. That baby would go. That baby would go. I mean, and I've seen 2 or 3 other versions that I think are fine. But again, it's the lawyer thing. These lawyers get involved, but this is one point to why I think if we do our own, we might be in better shape. This is just me thinking out loud. What was the lawsuit about? Why did we lose the lawsuit? See, he knows all the answers. I don't want you to answer it, okay? Okay?
But this is the concern for
Right.
Realty One Group. I don't mean to steal your shoulder, Tim, but hey, Damon, we don't create our own forms because it creates liability. Well, in the same breath, we followed everything we were supposed to do, and we still ended up paying millions and millions of dollars to, on this lawsuit. So there's no clear answer, folks. I mean, nobody wants to go create their own form because you put yourself out on an island to say, did we use the wrong word? Did we put the wrong clause in, and now we're getting sued all over again? So it's always going to be a company's direction to say, let's go with the flow. At the same time, that didn't work for us this time.
Yeah, I mean, we lost the lawsuit because the jury of 8 said we colluded. We had a conspiracy. We were all in on it. It was we all got together, 1.5 million of us, and decided to do this thing. We all know that's bullshit, okay? So some people, much smarter than me that I've talked to, think that if we follow this, the NAR stuff, there could be... Exactly. We all could be back in the same boat in 2 or 3 years. Right? But to Damon's point, if we create our own, okay, and our attorney thinks it's okay, that doesn't stop someone from suing us too, okay? So it sucks either way. It really does. It's not good.
About the level playing field.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I've seen a 1-pager out there. I don't think that's going to work. I'll believe it when I see it on August 18th. 2 or 3 pages.
I disagree with you. I think it'll work.
I hope it does. Really, I want it to work. I'm with you. Please. You know?
It doesn't mean Realty One's gonna do that. but
Correct.
I guarantee
Correct.
that brokers are going to minimize this
Correct.
thing down to hit
Right.
the terms of
Right.
this settlement without all the legal jargon
Right.
that's in this 5-pager. Now, I'm not opposed to this 5-pager. Me, I've read it and I'm okay with it for the most part. However, again, if brokers are out there creating 1-pager and it's just hitting the key points of the settlement, and we're sitting here having
Right.
to talk like attorneys going through this 5-pager, you know, it's a different.
It's intimidating. It's
I agree.
very
I agree.
intimidating
I agree.
5 pages.
But again, I'm not defending it, but when we were all new agents, the listing agreement was intimidating. The RPA was intimidating, you know, how to explain it. This will kind of hopefully ease as time goes on. At least that's what we hope. But again, I think you got to be careful is that, do we all agree that the listing agreement doesn't have to be 11 pages? Can't we make that 3? Why not, right? Right? Why make everything 1 page, okay? There's reasons, I guess, for people smarter than us with attorneys that say you need all that legal bullshit in it. I know. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is, you know? It is. So that's the BBRA, and then, like an example in the BBRA, this is in there. That's in the duties owed. Why is it in here? That's a half a page. All right, let's get rid of this. You know, why are we putting that in there again about duties owed may or may not represent both sides, okay? But again, attorneys recommend that we put it in there. Steph? No, of course we need the duties owed. Easy now. Let's not go crazy. Easy, you know? Get it, Steph.
So I think as a part of the duties owed, and my idea was always it would be fair to put the duties owed and buyer's brokerage agreement together.
That's not the duties owed, that's the consent to act.
Well, yeah, I mean, may or may not, the may or may not part. The may or may not part of the duties owed.
Right, you want
Right.
to see my listings?
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna do a multiple representation is what that clause is for.
Right.
Or do you not want to see
Correct.
my listings?
Right. So,
I would just answer that question.
because when I saw the final version of the 5-pager, me and another agent came in late to the committee. And we read through it, and we found out 3 or 4 things that were duplicated somewhere else on another form, listing agreement or the duties owed or consent to act. And we said, well, let's get this out of here and make it 3.5 pages. But the attorney said, no, we recommend that you leave it in there. So when it gets to that point, what are you going to do? Say, no, we know more than you, Mr. Attorney? So we're kind of stuck. And that's the top of page 2 on the RPA, where you're going to put your fee, your commission, your whatever apples you want.
What's the vehicle to request compensation for a rental?
Huh?
What's the vehicle to request your compensation?
Yeah, they're working on that form as we speak, I'm told. Yeah, so like on the BBRA, there's no spot, I don't think, to put a rental number. They're adding that in there, okay? It just says, but that's the language, that's the spot where you're going to put in 2.5, 3, whatever number you think you want to put in there, okay? And again, it becomes a negotiation, just like other parts of the RPA. Just like the due diligence and the loan contingency and close of escrow date, it becomes a negotiation tactic.
Pretty stupid to have an attorney general screw up 1.5 million people.
I don't know who screwed it up, but somebody did here, I guess, you know? Anything else on anybody's mind? Anything you're curious about? Good. Suze. Oh. Well, how do you think open houses work? So you're doing an open house, and somebody walks in.
You don't need an agreement.
Right? That's cool. They can just walk in. Okay?
If they want to go see other homes, in an agreement.
Correct. Just treat it like normal.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you're going to move past that, then you got to get a duties owed and buy a BBRA.
Yeah.
BBRA, not a BBA. Okay?
Well, for example, if you're not representing the seller at that open house, you have to go every time, right? Somebody walks in the door, show them that house?
No.
No. I'm showing Amelia's listing. I'm an agent here. It's her listing. You walk in.
So you show a listing for Remax over there. And it's his house, and you're doing open house there.
Doesn't matter, walking into an open house, you don't need an
Right,
agreement.
right.
If you
Hopefully,
see subsequent homes, you need an agreement.
hopefully you're not doing a listing on a non-Realty One Group property. I'm not saying you can't. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't, but you know, we got more listings than anybody else. It's much easier, I think, to the consumer.
Bottom line,
you know.
you didn't induce that person to come in the door.
Correct.
You did an open house, they walked in the door. You didn't induce them. If you're gonna go show them another home, you're gonna have to get a buyer broker representation.
That's correct. Exactly. So you just treat open houses like normal. Nothing you have to worry about. Okay.
So, I heard somebody mention duties, so do we need a duties owed in addition to the?
What do you think?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
You know, usually,
Yeah, that's got a, you know, and we're working on a little, me and Wendy are working on a little role play skit, you know, with the buyer broker agreement, you know, and that's gonna come up, you know, which do you get signed first? You know, the date stamp, all that stuff, that could come into play down the road if we get audited and stuff like that, okay? But yeah, the duties owed is never going away. And one other thing, August 8th, not that you remember, but we'll notify you, Tiffany Banks, who is the CEO of LVR, is coming into town. If you've seen Tiffany before, she's great. She used to be the attorney for the state. Now she's the CEO of LVR. She's coming in to do our meeting, and one of the things she's trying to do is, we never have trouble getting the duties owed signed, do we? No. What's the main reason we don't?
No money involved.
What if somebody says, I don't want to sign it? But I still don't want to sign it.
No deal.
There's no deal. The state of Nevada says you got to sign it. It's an NRS statute. So the consumer signs it. What if the BBRA was legislatively passed that the buyer had to sign it? Bada bing, right? Then we're home free. Don't blame me. Blame, who's our governor? Joe Lombardo. So that's what she's trying to do as time goes on. That'd be very cool. That's the home run. It is tough. Yeah, it is tough. It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, exactly.
Because money is involved.
Correct. That's the problem. That's correct. But they're going to try. And and as they promote that, if you have to vote, you're going to vote yes. Okay? I mean, but again, it's not a sleight of hand with the buyer. You're going to explain to the buyer what they're signing. Okay? And I just think if it was mandated, it'd be much easier for them to sign, just like the duties owed. So all I'm saying, gang, is this is a moving target. They're going to change a little bit more over the next month or two. Go to the LVR classes, one of those 3 days. You can just drop in at any time, okay? And all of the people up front will be the committee that created all the new forms. So they're really knowledgeable. Rob Morganti, girl Demetria, Lexi Glassman from Platinum, really smart people that were on the committee. And they'll answer anything you want within reason. Okay, they were very open. Yes, Susie was there. Yesterday. Linda was there yesterday. You know, there's not much that they won't answer for you unless you get into some legal stuff. Okay, one guy wanted to see the red line copy of the BBRA. You know, ain't gonna work. You know, we can't give you that. You know, yeah, Dana.
Tim, I would just say that, you know, and this is what our focus is, you know, for our team is, there's an easy way to lose clients through this whole process. Okay, you guys have to think. I've actually changed my mindset with this. This is going to inspire negotiations. First and foremost, just because a buyer signs this doesn't mean they're paying anything. They're not obligated to pay a commission until what? If they have to absorb commission, when are they going to pay that?
Closing.
Yeah, when they buy a home. So you're going to put an offer over, right? You're going to meet with your buyer. Hey, I collect 3%. That's my fee. Like, oh, well, do I have to pay? Well, no, you don't have to pay anything. We're going to negotiate this on the other side. If the seller doesn't want to pay it, we're going to bring it back to the table. We're going to sit down again, look at it, and negotiate. You guys are going to inspire negotiations, get very, very clear on how to negotiate this. Otherwise, you tell the buyer, yeah, you have to pay me this fee. Okay, see you later, and go to the next buyer, to the next agent. It's going to be an easy way to lose quick business. We don't want to lose any business at all from day one of this, so get really good at negotiations.
And if you guys remember, if you're a listing agent, I remember when I was a listing agent, I told this story many times, I think. Before I go to your house for your $800,000 listing, I've practiced like crap. You know, I'm in the mirror. I've recorded myself. I'm listening to it in the car, in my whole spiel, okay? I go, you know, I drive the neighborhood. You know, I want to make sure how many, you know, I want to check the HOA out, okay? So I'm really prepared when I go in your house because that's potentially a very expensive meeting we're going to have. You have to treat the buyer the same way. I hate to say it. In the past, we didn't treat a buyer that way. Okay, I'll meet you at the house. Meet you at the house. You want to make an offer? All right, let's go make an offer. Yeah? No, that shit's gone. That ship has sailed. You're going to have to get really good at, like Damon said, your whole mindset has to shift and treat it like a seller because they're equal now. They really, really are. Ann?
So technically, you'd have to write 3% negotiable.
No.
They're not going to sign it because why would they sign it if they think they can get zero? Yeah,
I don't understand.
the buyer.
Right, I'm the buyer.
Yeah.
You're my buyer.
He's saying you put in 3%.
Right.
But it's negotiable if the seller agrees to pay it?
It's negotiable with the seller. when you make the offer. Just like the price on your RPA is negotiable. Just like the close of escrow date is negotiable with the seller. So you,
Do we have an addendum to modify the PDRA?
Listen, so Tim sends over, yeah, I think he said yes on that. Was another question.
They're working on that.
For our team.
Yeah.
They said they're working on it, but with that, Tim sends over 3%, or sends me a buyer broker representation agreement. Tim, what, am I paying this?
who are you?
I'm the buyer.
Who are you?
I know you are. Okay, you know, right, again, I gave you guys a script a couple of meetings ago, and when we do our role play, you'll see it. In my conversation with the buyer, my goal, Damon, as you know, things have changed lately. You've purchased homes before, right? And yeah, Tim, I purchased a few. And how much did it cost you as a buyer when you bought that house? He's going to say nothing, right? Okay. Right, exactly. You may have paid a couple $100, you know. That's changed a little bit now, in case you didn't know. There's a form here I'm going to have you sign, okay? And I get a commission. I have to, feed my family. I have to pay my bills, okay? And I typically work at a 3% commission, okay? And my goal, Damon, is to not have you pay me anything, okay? I'm going to negotiate in the purchase agreement for Ann, the seller, to pay that, okay? Now, she may not. She may say, no, Tim, I'm not paying that 3%. And then I'm going to come back to you, Damon, and we're going to talk about that, okay? And then that's how the conversation will kind of flow, okay?
I get all that, but in the meantime, you're making them commit to 3% and you're telling them, hey, we can negotiate. Exactly. But, they
Hold
don't,
on, folks. They're not committed to 3% until they buy a home. So you come back to me and say, hey, seller's only paying 1%. And do you want to pay me 2%? I get paid 3%. You want to pay me the 2%? You're the buyer.
Say no, say no.
No.
Okay. Do you want to move forward with this home?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to focus on finding you a home where the seller's paying my 3%? Again, get really good at negotiations, folks.
That's the conversation
This is gonna be
right out of the gate.
Do you want to move forward with this home? Right now, I may reduce my commission 1%. You guys have that ability to say, listen, I'm gonna reduce mine 1%. Can you pay 1%?
I get all that. My point is, you have to get them to agree to paying 3%. And then you say it's negotiable, and you make it so.
You don't say it's negotiable.
It doesn't happen till.
I know, but they still sign the paperwork up front.
But there's an open door.
They sign an offer too.
Listen, if you guys approach this and you're trying to, if you guys approach this and you're pigeonholing the buyer to paying a commission, not all of them are gonna sign it. Some might. There's a negotiation that's gonna take place, a very important word. There's a negotiation that's gonna take
Well,
place.
that's a negotiation. I'm
Okay?
just saying you gotta
And
have
we're
them
going
sign
to
it
work
up
through
front.
this to
Okay.
fight hard for you, because if you don't have that mindset, you're not going to get most buyers to sign that buyer brokerage representation agreement, because they're gonna be afraid that they owe you a 3% commission. You better have the right mindset, and that's our number one focus.
Yeah, and when you go to LVR, during the training, they're going to beat you up, and we have already. And if you haven't seen videos on it, you got to prove your value. As a listing agent, you go in there and sell the shit out of what you do. I market this. I close in 90% of my homes close at or above list price. All these stats on how great of a listing agent you are. You're going to have that as a buyer's agent.
Tim, the challenge though, this is the challenge, and there's a few of us, right, but we don't necessarily always have the opportunity to sit down with the buyer for an hour or two
Sure.
before we're gonna go show a home. You guys might be in that same boat, okay? That's why that mindset better be very clear, because you might have to have get a buyer to sign this before you have that 2-hour consultation where you say, listen, you're not forced to pay anything. This is gonna be a negotiation, right? This is what I charge. I'm gonna be negotiating this back and forth with the seller. We're gonna sit back down based on what the seller wants to do, and you're going to be aware of everything before you sign on the dotted line for anything, okay? That's very important.
Yeah, and
Otherwise, he can say, I'll go directly to the seller. I don't have to say anything.
Yeah, I would be a witty buyer, I would go to the seller.
sure. Do you think a lot of buyers are going to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a listing at 2.5%, right? And I call you off the Zillow, and I don't have an agent. You show me the house, and I want you to represent me. Are you going to do it? Well, no, you have 2.5 on the listing agreement. Let's say you took it at 2.5%. Are you going to represent both sides for 2.5%?
No.
Why not? You could, right? Why can't you? But are you going to do half the job, twice the work for half the money?
And higher
No, absolutely not. So I think most listing good ones are gonna not double-end it. We think the whole world is gonna be double-ended. I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't.
They might double
You
into
know?
a buyer broker representation agreement with the buyer and present it to the
Correct.
seller.
Correct.
Consent to act included,
Mhm.
right? Hey, buyer called me, Tim.
Yep.
I'm write an offer for the buyer, here's a consent to act, are you okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay, yes, write the offer, there's a co-op included on, or the co-op included on the offer, and I'm now presenting that with my seller, that's gonna take place.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna, it's,
There's no more procuring cause anymore.
it's so
That's
funny.
the deal.
That came up yesterday, and we slammed the door on it real quick. Not that we don't want to talk about it, but it's tricky. It's trickier now, maybe, or it might.
There was, but now.
Now it's a tricky one.
There's
Yeah.
not gonna be any
Yeah.
procuring cost.
Yeah.
It's going to be you suing the buyer
Yeah.
based on the buyer broker agreement if there's
Exactly.
signed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, there's not gonna be it's
Yeah.
through the MLS at least, there's no
Correct.
procuring cause vehicle.
And you got to keep in mind, if that buyer doesn't sign with you, Ann, after 10 minutes, I'm not signing this shit, Ann. No way. I'm not committing to this. And they leave, they're going to go to Ricky at Remax, and he's going to have the same conversation with them. So the better person has the right mindset.
A one-page form.
But he's still going to want 3%, regardless, you know? Right. It boils down to the money, let's be honest. It boils down to the money, okay?
It has to address compensation, so
Right,
they are gonna have
right.
that same conversation with
Right,
another
right,
broker.
right.
Whether it's
But-
1 page or 5 page or
but-
whatever, it's still gonna say, hey, I collect 3% or
Correct.
whatever it is.
And I would bet all of you in here, if you really put in the time and put in the effort, just like now, if you've been doing this for a while, you can explain the RPA to your buyer in less than 5 minutes, right? With all the legal jargon, all right? And the same thing with the listing agreement, okay? 6 months from now, I think the BBRA is going to be the same way, okay? You're gonna get it down pat, you're going to know what buzzwords to use, you're going to highlight certain things, and they're going to sign the damn thing because they know they have to, or else they're not going to go see the house. Okay, so again, this even when I'm talking to my buyer, I'm going to say, look, Damon, for 100 years, we liked it that way, didn't you? Yeah, Tim. Yeah. Where does this bullshit come from? You know, well, some Missouri people. You know, blame Missouri for this. You know, came up with this lawsuit. You know, so I agree with you, Damon. I don't want you to pay me anything. Buyers never had to pay me anything in the past other than a transaction fee. So I'm going to do my best.
So we're gonna negotiate like heck.
That's it, baby. So if there's a negotiation.
Concessions, whatever.
Any negotiation class you see, you need to take it. There's a designation down at LVR. I've never taken the class, but I'm going to take it. Lee Barrett teaches it. I think it's 2 or 3 days. I'm going to take it, okay? Because you're going to get really good at it.
Which class?
Some sort of negotiation class. It's a certification through
So
NAR.
that's a great question that came up in our team meeting as well.
Say it again, Leah?
Imagine that.
If it's a new home and you can't negotiate.
Yeah, well, that came up yesterday. Here's an example, what you might hear yesterday. Susie, maybe help me out, or Linda. So I'm an agent. I bring Amelia into Pardee, and and we have a BBA for 3% or whatever, okay? And then Pardee is paying, say, 3%, okay, for my commission, okay? But then they have a special. For these 5 homes, they're paying 5 bananas instead of 3 bananas. Can I get 5 bananas?
No.
Or do I have to stick with the 3?
No, you get 5 because you guys are gonna create a change order for it.
Wouldn't that be great? That's what we're hoping for.
That's the easy one, you guys just create.
Well,
That's all.
the hoping for that.
She's talking about
Only
there's,
paying
she's talking about there's no commission.
They're paying flat fees right now.
Right.
Lennar is $5,000.
2%
Buyers don't have to pay the difference.
The buyer pays the difference. The buyer pays the difference. Or not. Or when we create the change form for the BBRA, that you had 3, you're taking 2 on this deal. So you and Maria will get really close with more change forms. That's all we need is more change forms, right? How many more change forms do we have?
Buyer broker representation agreement anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
You might start now call a builder beforehand and negotiate beforehand, okay? I mean, that might be the best practice right now. Hey, I'm calling the builder.
That's the biggest love-hate relationship on.
Oh, yeah.
But I will tell you guys, in a shifting market, as markets change,
Right.
this is going to favor us. Sometimes it's not going to favor us. Sometimes, bottom line.
Hey, you guys might not know this, but I'm going to pick on him. He's going to be pissed. But Darren, everybody, Darren Bryan. You don't know Darren, but he's probably one of the best agents in the world here. Give us your 2 cents. Come on, help us out here. Throw something at us.
Builders, they may start posting what they're gonna pay you right online, like flat fees, like Lennar gets 5,000. I mean, luckily for me, most of my clients are referral clients clients, so I never had them sign a buyer broker agreement, even when, back 10 years ago when it existed. I just, they knew me, they knew I was gonna represent them, I was gonna get paid by the seller. Now it's changing. I mean, and I have some, some pretty big buyers that I'm gonna have to put this in front of and explain to them just like Damon's saying, hey, this is a change, everything's changing, you guys see the lawsuits, I see it all in the news. I've been asked many times from my sellers, like, hey, I'm not paying anymore, I'm getting 3%, that's all I'm paying. So I have a closing right now, I'm getting 1.5%. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think, like Damon says, and like what Tim's saying, is you're gonna have to get really good at negotiating and really good at explaining it in a way that it is receivable.
Absolutely.
It's not so intimidating. You have to take the intimidation part out of it and make it so that your buyer knows, like, hey, thank you so much for going out there and representing me. I know it says 3%, but I know you're gonna do everything you can to make it so I only have to pay a 0.5 point or 1%. Now I had, back in June when all this was hitting the fan, I had a new client come to me and they wanted to buy a new home. And I didn't, we didn't know the dates, when is this going to affect? July 1st, okay, well, I said, hey, everything is changing. Commissions are now negotiated between buyer and seller, okay? So I'm hoping that the seller will pay the commission and you don't have to pay anything. But you may have to pay 1% or 0.5 point, I don't know what it's gonna be, and they were open to it. They were like, okay, no, we get it, we see things are changing.
Sure.
I'm hopeful that maybe even at some point down the road, whatever shift takes place, maybe even lenders will get involved and say, hey, we're gonna carve out and you can add commissions into a loan. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but sometimes, just like when you're representing a buyer and a buyer needs help with closing costs, hey, I need to bump the price up, 10 grand to cover the cost. Well, you may have to tell your buyer, hey, we're gonna have to bump the price up in order to cover all the costs. Cost meaning part of your closing costs and part of the commission. I don't know.
Sure.
You have to get really creative on making the numbers work and working with, hopefully, the listing agent is somebody you can work with and
Yeah. Hey, I forgot also, Nathan, you have a big team. Are you going to be doing some training for your guys also, like Damon is, I assume, or?
Yeah, I think a lot of agents aren't very good at negotiating, right?
You think?
So
There you go.
It's going to be huge on the role playing and identifying opportunity and how to just make it not an awkward conversation. And every client I think is going to be a little bit different on how you present that to them, depending on what type of buyer it is. If it's a first-time buyer, if it's an investor, if it's a savvy multi-million-dollar buyer.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a huge part of your confidence. It really is, folks. If you sit down with your tail between your legs, you're gonna be stuttering, stumbling, everything else. Get very good at this practice. This is not something to fall asleep at the wheel out right now. Get really good at understanding these forms. Sit down. I saw my team last night. Go practice on friend, family member, whatever. Sit down. We did a role play in our team meeting. I was actually the agent and had two of our agents as buyers, and we went through the whole thing as well to say, so Damon, what happens if the seller doesn't cover this? You're gonna have a good, the good comeback, right? Well, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna address that. We're gonna sit back down and look at everything and figure it out, right? Negotiate the best possible position for you.
yeah. I mean, I think, and easy for me to say, but I think we're going to get through this.
Oh, yeah.
Is it going to hurt for a while? It's going to hurt for a while, Fred?
The thing is we're in a situation where we have very low inventory, so we are in a weak position. Once it resolves itself, there's more inventory, our strength will grow with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of cash buyers. I will go to that cash buyer and I'll tell them, I'll represent you only. I'm gonna charge you 3% and I'll get that off the price of that house for you.
Yeah.
Or more. So just look at the road. We will get there.
Right. And just do your best. Go down to LVR.
Learn to be a good negotiator and terminology.
Any classes that we're doing, me, Jeff, Mark, Damon, Nathan, even if you're not on their team, they'll let you jump in on the class. You need to do this over and over and over again, guys, until you get good at it. So we're all good? Anything else? Nobody? Thank you all for your time. Thank you.